Virginia Woolf, believed dead. Novelist is thought to have been drowned Friday. Has been special cable to the New York Times. London, April 2. Mrs. Virginia Woolf, novelist and essayist, who has been missing from her home since last Friday, is believed to have been drowned at Rodwell, near Lewis, where she and her husband, Leonard Sidney Woolf, had a country residence. Mr. Woolf said tonight, Mrs. Woolf is presumed to be dead. She went for a walk last Friday, leaving a letter behind, and it is thought she has been drowned. Her body, however, has not been recovered. The circumstances surrounding the novelist's disappearance were not revealed. The authorities at Lewis said they had no report of Mrs. Woolf's supposed death. It was reported her hat and cane had been found on the bank of the Ouse River. Mrs. Woolf had been ill for some time. The Woolfs ran Hogarth Press from 1917 to 1938, when Mrs. Woolf retired to devote her time to writing. Her last book was Roger Fry, a biography, published last year. Mrs. Woolf was born in 1882. She was a daughter of Sir Leslie Stephen. James Russell Lowell was her godfather. Long noted as novelist. Mrs. Woolf's first work was published in 1915. Mrs. Virginia Woolf was a granddaughter of Thackeray and a relative of the Darwins, Simmonses, and Strachey's. She grew up in an household that Stevenson, Ruskin, Lowell, Hardy, Meredith, and other writers visited. As the wife of Leonard Woolf and the sister-in-law of Clive Bell, Mrs. Woolf had a literary circle of her own. She was the author of 15 books of high quality, in which the critics met up with at least 4 different kinds of thinking and writing. This led to her being characterized as the multiple Mrs. Woolf. In 3 Guineas, Mrs. Woolf replied to the question of a barrister, "How, in your opinion, are we to prevent war?" The keynote of this work was her remark that the inquiry must be unique in the history of human correspondence, since when before, as an educated man asked a woman how, in her opinion, war can be prevented. Of one of her novels, The Years, Ralph Thompson, a book reviewer of the New York Times, said, Mrs. Woolf is nearest perfection when dealing with a past or with a present that has already begun to lose itself in the past. Then she is near perfection indeed. When not working on novels and longer essays, Mrs. Woolf frequently wrote critical articles for literary magazines, entering a number of literary controversies. One of her last deals was with book reviewers in December 1939. She contended it was a public duty to abolish the book reviewer, holding that reviews were so hurriedly written that the reviewers was unable to deal adequately with the books his editor sent him. Mrs. Woolf declared no heir of parliament would be necessary to abolish the reviewer, contending that the tendencies she deplored would soon condition him out of existence. Commenting editorially on Mrs. Woolf's description of Augustine Birrell as a born writer, The New York Times in August 1930 described Mrs. Woolf as one of the most subtle, original, and modern of moderns, herself a born writer. Mrs. Woolf's published works began with The Voyage in 1915, followed by Night and Day in 1919. Monday or Tuesday in 1921, Jacob's Room in 1922, The Common Reader, and Mrs. Dalloway in 1925, To the Lighthouse in 1927, Orlando and A Room of One's Own in 1929, The Waves in 1931, The Common Reader, second series in 1932, Flash in 1933, The Ears in 1937, Three Guineas in 1938, and Roger Fry, a biography in 1940. All her education was received at home from private tutors. Her favorite recreation was printing, in which she joined with her husband, Leonard Woolf, novelist and essayist, founder of the Hogarth Press, and former literary editor of The Nation.